I want to start with one story that is really, when I heard this, it was such a shocker. I had a friend who I grew up with, and his mom had a friend who was a hypnotherapist. And I don't mean to dwell on hypnosis, but we learned so very much through hypnosis about us. And so she was a hypnotherapist, and so what that meant was she would work with people who were struggling primarily emotionally, and the way she would do this, has anyone in here ever worked with a hypnotherapist? You have?
Yesterday I did the TCT thing.
Did you?
She put me under.
Under?
Yeah.
In some kind of an altered state?
Yes. And she talked to my 6-year-old child.
Okay. So what did she say?
She asked me questions like, what would you like to tell Shireen? Is there anything Shireen wants to know about?
Why did she do that? Why did she go to 6-year-old?
I don't know. She asked me, who are we talking to? And I just thought, 6-year-old?
Oh, it just what came?
And then she asked me questions, and it got really personal, and I started crying.
Yeah. So, has anyone in here been to any other kind of, and you don't have to tell us about it, but been to any other kind of counseling, not hypnotherapy, but any other kind of psychological counseling designed to help you feel better somehow? Has anyone? A few of you have. When you go to the, well, I don't want to get into this too much yet, but how many of you, when you went to the counselor, did they spend time in your past? Did they focus on, raise your hands, how many of you did they kind of go into your past experience somehow? Raise your hands, how many did? So, did any of you, do you know why that person did that? Those of you who just raised your hand, do you know why? What?
Well, I went because I had anxiety in high school, and
You had a what? Anxiety?
yeah, and he was just trying to figure out like what it was that like caused it, and so like he just went back into my childhood and saw like me and my brother were close to the same age, and we just always like compared each other or whatever, and now that he started getting better than me, it like caused me anxiety, because I like to be better than him.
Okay, so you feel anxious now. I mean,
Yeah.
when you were, so you're here. This is kind of how I see this working. Here's the problem now, and the idea is, in counseling and psychotherapy, TCT, is that what you called it?
Trauma conversion therapy.
Trauma conversion therapy. It's probably just a variation of the same theme, it sounds like. We have a problem now. So you said it was anxiety. Yes? That shows up when you're in high school? Okay. And you said the cause was in your past. That something happened back then that you said was the cause, right? How do you make that leap? And I'm not doubting. I mean, I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm not saying this is wrong. And the story I'm going to tell you proves to me that this is exactly what happens a lot of the times when we have problems now and we don't understand why we have problems now, because we wake up and we go, I seem to be okay, but then something happens in our day, and suddenly, without realizing it, without having any kind of conscious, we get whatever, less than happy, less than peaceful, less than joyful.